Today we are going to learn how to build and write different simple words.
That is a great idea, but how do we build and write words? I have never had to build and write down words before.
First we take a simple CVC word, like the word cat. We need to segment the word and break it apart so that we can hear all the sounds. The first sound we hear is the C sound, so we would write down the letter C. The next sound we hear is the A sound, so we would write down the letter A. The last sound we hear is a T sound, so we would write down the letter T. And there you have your word. Cat. See, it is easy once you learn how. Now you should try a word. How about the word big?
Okay, the first step that I need to do is segment the word to break the word apart so that I can hear all the sounds.
B, E, G.
The first sound I hear is the B sound, so I would write the letter B. The next sound I hear is the I sound, so I would write the letter I. The last sound I hear is the G sound, so I would write the letter G. Look! I did it! I built my first word, big.
Great job, I knew you could do it. Remember every time you write a word to remember the steps. First, segment and break the word apart so that you can hear all of the sounds. Next, write down the first sound that you hear. Next, write down the second sound you hear. Finally, write the last sound you hear. These steps will help you to make sure you write down each of the letters needed for that word.
What about harder words? Like CVC words? Can you still do those the same way?
Yes, you would still do those with the same steps. Here I will show you. Give me a hard four-letter word and I will see if I can build it.
Okay, let's see. A hard four-letter word is what you want? How about the word slam?
First, I need to segment the word and break it apart.
S, O, A, M.
The first sound is the S sound, so I would write the letter S. The next sound I hear is the L sound, so I would write down the letter L. The next sound I hear is the A sound, which is the vowel in the word. The last sound I heard was the M sound, so I would write down the letter M.
Let's see if the boys and girls are ready to build their first word on their whiteboards.
Great idea. Boys and girls, are you all ready to build your very first word? Great. Let's get started. How about we start with short A word?
Great idea. Boys and girls, the word is ham. First you need to break apart the word.
What is the first sound you hear in the word ham?
That is correct. The first sound is the sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound? That is right, the letter H. Great job writing down the first letter in your word.
What is the second sound that you hear in the word ham? That is correct. The second sound is the sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound?
That is right, the letter A. Great job writing down the second letter in your word.
What is the last sound that you hear in the word ham? That is correct. The last sound is the sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound? That is right, the letter M. Great job writing down the last letter in your word.
Look, you wrote your very first word. What word did you write? That is correct, the word ham.
Who wants to try a harder four-letter word? Great. I knew you would be up for the challenge. I want you to build the word stop.
First you need to break apart the word. What is the first sound you hear in the word stop? That is correct. The first sound is the
S.
sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound? That is right, the letter S. Great job writing down the first letter in your word.
What is the second sound that you hear in the word stop? That is correct. The second sound is the
T.
sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound? That is right, the letter T. Great job writing down the second letter in your word.
What is the third sound you hear in the word stop? That is correct. The first sound is the
Ah.
sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound? That is right, the letter O. Great job writing down the third letter in your word.
What is the final sound that you hear in the word stop? That is correct. The first sound is the
P.
sound. What letter do you need to write down that makes that sound?
That is right, the letter P. Great job writing down the final letter in your word.
Boys and girls, you wrote down your very first four-letter word, which is not an easy task.
Great job, boys and girls. You did an excellent job today learning how to build and write words.
Remember the steps when you want to write a word.
First, segment the word and break it apart.
Second, write down all the sounds that you hear in the word.
After you are done writing the word, check the word by reading and blending all of the letters to make sure it is correct.
Remember, after practice, building and writing words will become easier.
Awesome job working so hard today.